Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Monday Midday Chair Yoga. And we are on week 5 of our spring term, following in the theme of peace and finding some inner peace and a sense of ease within the body. So today we're going to do that. We're going to focus on the neck and shoulders a little bit before we travel south. And we are going to use a squashy ball and a block. You can use, instead of a squashy ball, a cushion or something similar. You could actually use a block for the whole practice if you wanted to, but it's useful to have one of these, and a sturdy book would do instead of one of these. I'm going to pop these down out of the way for now. Hope the ball doesn't travel around too much. And we'll begin our practice with a little seated centering. So please let me arrange my chair. There we are. So coming towards the front of your seat, we're going to try to press the feet gently into the floor and find a sense of lift and length through the body. Rest your hands wherever they're comfortable, perhaps closing your eyes or gazing gently downward with the lids of the eyes half closed. Take this moment to step away from everything that's been going on around you and step into the time and space for yoga. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Often the loudest sensations are the sensations of discomfort or stiffness or tension in the body. And we notice these so that we might work compassionately throughout our practice. Also thinking about at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, spacious, and at ease. Allow that sense of ease to blossom out from wherever it's centered, softening tension as it goes. Perhaps you can feel your forehead soften, your jaw, your shoulders. And then turning your attention to your breath. Notice your natural, spontaneous breath. Notice its rhythm and depth and smoothness, the qualities of your breath. Whenever you feel ready, you can gently deepen your breath. As you exhale, allowing the belly muscles to gently lift inwards and upwards to exhale fully, and then with a soft belly, breathing deeply into the sides of the body, the back and the chest. Breathing slowly out and engaging your belly muscles to exhale completely. Soften the belly to breathe into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Long, slow, steady breath out, engaging across the belly muscles to exhale fully. Keep breathing in this way, filling the space across the lungs, letting the breath lift you tall. And on your exhaled part of the breath, nice and long and languid, and then gently easing into that contraction to exhale fully. Softening to breathe in. Softening to breathe out. And then engaging the belly muscles to exhale fully. One more breath like this. When you're ready, you can allow your breath to fall back into its natural rhythm, falling into quietness. And we're just gently going to blink the eyes open. We're going to actually start with our feet a little bit wider apart. And you can place your hands either on your hips or on your knees. I'm just going to roll the body around in a circle. So we're trying to imagine that we're circling the chest around the hips, or perhaps you might like to think of drawing a circle with the crown of your head on the ceiling. Something like this. Just going in the full motion of around. It's quite nice to start the practice this way because it helps us to release tension from the body, particularly the torso part of the body. We can go in the opposite direction when you're ready, pressing into the floor for a little bit of support, and just massaging the buttocks, the backs of the legs gently into your seat. And if you're very bony, you might like a little cushion under the seat there. I can hear one of my sit bones clunking a little bit as we go around. So just doing something that feels good to the body. We'll do one more. And then come back to the center. And we're going to sit tall and just allow the chin to come down towards the chest, not forcing, just wherever it naturally goes. And then gently rolling the head upright and then taking the chin a little bit forward. We're not holding here, we're just rolling straight back down. Nice, slow, steady movements. Just exploring your range of motion that feels in that place of ease. So when we're holding tension in the body, it's often because we're expecting the body to either carry too much or to move in a too great a range of movement. And so by coming back to a place of ease, we get to release that tension, that sense of holding. We'll come up one more time and then back to the center. Sitting tall, we're just gently going to turn the head from side to side, not worrying about where we get to, but just enjoying the movement itself. We're keeping the movement exactly where it feels comfortable and easy, almost effortless. Let's do one more to each side. And as we return to center, just finding that sense of lift, and then we'll do ears to shoulders. So a nice little side bend again. You don't have to get anywhere in particular, we're just making some movements, beginning to explore, noticing if there are any sensations in the body. So I feel this in more places than the other two neck movements we've done. We'll just do one more to each side. And then come back to the center, free the shoulders, the hands, just to roll the shoulders a few times. Very nice, we'll go the opposite way as well. Aces. So we're going to come back to center. We're going to create more length down the sides of the body. And then we're going to try and keep the hips still and the shoulders still and roll the body, sort of barrel roll the rest of the torso. So you can hold your hands in front of you to help you to keep the shoulders more steady. And just imagine you're trying to get the right side of your body to the right, the front of your body to the front, the left side of your body to the left, the back of your body to the back. And just try and hit those four corners as we wriggle and roll. Feels a little bit different than just circling. It's a little bit more demanding for our core muscles. We can go the opposite way when you're ready. And it's okay to move the shoulders a little bit. You're just trying to create that barrel rolling effect. It's takes a little bit of getting used to. It's very nice for the body. It helps us to wriggle out some of that tension. And again, we're looking for movement in places that feel at ease, without force. Coming back to center when you're ready, just relaxing the arms down and bring our feet a little bit closer together. And we're coming back to our neck movements. So just a little wriggle of the shoulders, pressing the feet into the floor, finding that length. We're going to bring the chin towards the chest. And this time we're going to go from here to rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder. And the chin towards the chest. And the left ear towards the left shoulder. And chin to chest. Keeping the mouth closed, just gently closed, not gritting the jaw. And noticing the connections between the movements that we make and the sensations in the body. And we're trying to be in a place that feels enjoyable. So if that means that the movement is much smaller or much slower, then that's exactly where you need to be for your body. Enjoy being there. Let's do one more to each side. When you're ready, you can bring your chin back towards your chest, just taking a moment here, gentle smile, and then rolling the head upright. We're going to take bottom teeth over top teeth to lift the chin forward and up, holding but breathing. And then gently rolling back down, softening the jaw, maybe wiggling the jaw. And then chin towards chest one more time. Another soft smile here and coming back to the upright position, freeing the hands, just letting the arms swing backwards and forwards. Very nice. So we're going to try and allow the head to be centered. And then make these movements with the arms a bit more purposeful. So we're going to reach further up and swing back, reach further up and swing back. Press into the floor at the same time, firm the belly muscles, maybe lift your chin a touch as your arms come up, just allowing your head to be in line with the rest of the movements of the body. So not resisting it, not forcing the head to move differently. As the arms swing back, there's a sort of lift and shrug of the shoulders. And it's okay to allow your upper body to come forwards a little bit as the arms go backwards. See if you can make this a slightly bigger movement, maybe slightly smaller, maybe with a little lean forward, not rolling forward, just leaning slightly forward, back nice and long. Let's do two more. And on this last one, we're going to reach up. We're going to hold the arms over the head and just lift one arm and then the other. So head can stay neutral, looking forward here, or maybe looking gently up. Do whatever feels most comfortable for your neck. One more time to each side with the arms, and then turning the palms and floating the arms slowly down to the sides of the body. And as the arms come down, just allowing a softening across the back, the shoulders, the chest, the neck. Lovely job. So we are going to take our fingertips and just rest them towards the shoulders or the chest and make some little gentle circles. So we're starting small. We're starting so that we can find the point that feels the best. And we're balancing the range of movement that we're making as we start to increase the range, the size of these circles, and the sense of comfort in the body. So we want to work at that sweet spot where we're making the biggest circle we can, but without any strain, without any real sense of big effort. And so if you want to bring your elbows a little closer together in front of the body, you can, or elbows behind the body, you can, but you can equally stay at a much more softened circle. Let's do one more in this direction. Then we're going to pause and gently go the opposite way. So if your shoulders or arms are tired, you could rest in between these two sets. Again, just building to a place that feels there's a sense of ease of the movement, but you're getting the fullest circle that feels good to you. And if you can eliminate any crunching or clunking or clicking by going slowly and doing smaller circles, then please take that option. Even if it's not painful, it's sometimes a little disconcerting. It creates a sense of unease in the body. Let's do one more in this direction. And releasing the arms down, just giving the arms a little shrug, a little swing. Very nice. So in between time, we're going to move the neck, just taking the nose and drawing a figure of 8 or a little circle in front of the body if that feels good. Doesn't need to be a figure 8 if the circle feels better. And then we can go the opposite way. And always taking the opportunity to move the neck, small movements of the head and the neck, just to find a sense of ease. So my figure of 8 is really an infinity sign. It's on its side, and I can explore by taking the nose up a little and drawing the nose down a little as well. So the movement changes depending on the orientation of my skull and the top of the spine. Let's do maybe one more set of up and downs with the nose, if you're doing up and downs with the nose, and then coming back to the center, relaxing the shoulders, just giving them a little shake again. So we're going to shrug our shoulders all the way up towards the ears and hold them there. Take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, really slowly letting the shoulders release down to their neutral spot again. And it can take a couple of breaths to do that, but letting the shoulders soften at the bottom. We're just taking a deep breath in and sighing out. So we're going to do this 3 more times. It's a somatic release of tension across the shoulders and the neck. And so the idea is that we lift the shoulders and hold that contraction in the muscles, and then as slowly as possible, release it down. So in your head, you can do this for a slow count of 10 or about 2 deep breaths. Let's go. So we're shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears. We want the shoulders to be towards the sides of the body rather than front if possible. Hold them and then breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly, slowly, slowly releasing down, down, down. We've got about 5 more counts to go. And then allow your shoulders to reach the end. Just wriggle to release anything that you might have released out, to let it go. So you're not holding it again. Deep breath in, soft sigh out. Let's do it 2 more times. Shrug the shoulders up. Hold them at the top of their movement. Squeeze them as high up as feels comfortable, using effort now where we haven't used effort in the rest of the class. Deep breath in. And then slowly, 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 releasing gently down a little at a time. 3 more counts before reaching the end. And then a little wriggle of the shoulders. Move the head as well if it feels good to do that. Take a deep breath in. Sigh out. One more time. Shrugging the shoulders all the way up. Holding them, really lifting. And this time we're going to try and go even slower on the release. Breathing in And as you breathe out, begin to release the shoulders down. Remember, you can take as many breaths as you like as you release your shoulders down. We're maybe about halfway down now. Still going, still releasing down. Let's give it 2 or 3 more counts. And then just relaxing the shoulders. Deep breath in, sigh out. Very good. Smashing stuff. So sometimes our head and neck tension can be around about the face and the jaw. So we're going to do a little bit of a facial massage. And for this, I'm going to come a bit closer towards you so you can see, and hopefully I won't go off the screen, and hopefully the camera will adapt. Okay, so we're going to take the flats of the fingers just below the middle knuckle and rub these on the outside of the jaw, so the corner of the jaw here. And we're just making nice little circles. And we're not pressing hard enough to feel that we're being too firm. We want to be quite gentle. Very nice. And we can also do this a little bit along the bottom of the jaw. So there's a sort of bony bit of the jaw, and then there's a rope of muscle that joins the two jaws across the cheek here. We can massage there and maybe move that massage gently towards the space where the jaw meets the ears. And so just in front of the ears, also at the place where the top of the ear joins the face, just massaging here as well. So you can start from the side of the jaw, move gently towards the corner of the jaw, and then move nicely up the front of the ears, the space just above the ears. And if you want to, you can also do that across the hairline. So just around the hairline rather than on the face itself. We've got lots of muscles there. They often hold tension, and we can just give them a light massage. Super. It's very exciting times, isn't it? Smashing. Once we've done that, we're going to take the ears and just gently pull them. So we're pulling on our earlobes, and it is gentle. It might not look gentle, but it is gentle. So we're not trying to create tension or discomfort. We're just pulling gently. And then we can take the sort of outside edge of the ears, maybe do a little pinching from the lobes all the way up to the top ridge of the ears, and we can do that a few times. Going up the outside of the ears. I know it feels like, why would we be doing things with our ears? There are so many yogic energetic channels that finish around the ears. They're really important for energy. Let's do one more. Very good. And then we can take the ears in our hands and just wriggle them around. It's okay if your head moves a little. And you can pull them gently or massage them here, whatever feels good. And then when we've done that, and our ears might be quite warm, we can sweep the hands up the jawline and then over the top of the ears, and then we'll take them down the sides of the neck. We can sweep the hands up the jawline, over the top of the ears, down the sides of the neck. Lovely job. One more time. Very nice. And then we're going to take the hands to the hairline and sweep the hands across the hairline. And we're going to move to the back of the neck. So here we're going to take our fingers to where the skull meets the neck. We don't want to press right in the center here so much. It's more towards the sides, and just giving a nice little massage here. We can massage all the way towards the back of the ears, and maybe take the thumbs and sweep the thumbs towards the base of the skull where it meets the spine. Very nice. It should feel quite lovely. And then we're going to do that again. So hands from the fingers, from the hairline, sweeping over the head. towards the nape of the neck, giving a light little massage here, massaging out towards the ears, and then thumbs from the back of the ears into the nape of the neck again. Very good. And then when we've done this a few times, we can just sweep down the sides of the neck at the back. You can move your head a little if you need to, or perhaps you can do it without moving the head from side to side. And then finish by giving ourselves a nice little massage across the shoulders. So for some people, doing it like this will feel too much. So you can just do one at a time, just using your other arm for support. Nice little massage here. Oh, feels lovely. And we can do the same on the other side. And if any of these practices have felt really good and you want to come back to them, just when you're replaying a video, pause, spend a little longer doing that thing. Very nice. And then just relaxing, noticing how it feels. I'm going to return to my chair, but noticing how it feels in the body. Perhaps there's a sense of warmth in places that haven't felt warmth, or a sense of energy. We can move the body in any way that feels good here. So just a gliding, sliding movement to feel a connection with that deeper sense of ease, and maybe a few shrugs of the shoulders, maybe a few rolls of the shoulders. Smashing. So we've done a lot for our upper body, and we're going to come into standing to do more centered body work and lower body work now. But just notice as we practice, if it feels like you need to wriggle the shoulders or move your head, keep looking for that place of ease. Try to get back into it if you can. Let's do our sit to stands. So we're going to place the feet underneath the knees. We're sitting towards the front of the seat, but with enough of our buttocks and maybe upper thighs so that we don't have to look to find the seat. We know it's there. We're pressing into the feet, firming the belly muscles, and then just hovering and releasing. So a gentle hover and release. See if you can make that hover smaller. If you're practiced at this, the smaller the hover, the harder it is to do. If you need to hover a little higher, not a problem at all. Hover and release. We'll do one more like this. And then taking a moment, just a deep breath in and out. Then we're going to do standing all of the way up. So firm in the belly again, pressing the feet down. We hover first and then press through the legs to stand all the way tall, opening the chest. And then come back the opposite way, reaching the hands forward as we reach the tailbone backwards, bending at the knees and lightly sitting down onto our seat. Let's do two more exactly like that. Reaching forward to hover, press through the legs to open all the way tall, and then reaching the hands forward as we reach the tailbone backwards to gently sit down on the seat. One more time. Hover and stand. And reach and release. This time we're staying standing. We're going to stand all the way up and just let the arms float down to the sides. Give the shoulders a nice little wriggle. And we'll take our chairs and just put them to one side. I'm going to turn mine around like this, so it's ready for my next bit of practice. And then standing on our feet, just noticing how that feels across the hips. Maybe we need to do a little wriggling of the hips. Often if we sit down for a long time, it can be a nice thing to do as we stand up, just to circle the hips a few times in each direction. Feel free to change directions whenever it suits you. And then we're standing with our feet firmly planted, nice and wide, so it gives us a nice solid base, soft in the knees, and gently twisting from side to side. And as we twist, allow your head to do the movement that best suits your neck. So it might be that you keep your head more centered, maybe just a small turn, Or you might like to allow the head to follow the movement of the chest. So effectively, you're not really turning the head at all. You're keeping the spine just on top of the chest. Or you might like to turn the head a little bit more into each twist. So explore what feels best in your body, and perhaps you start with one and move into another. Our movement patterns are supposed to evolve. So allow that to be the case if it suits you. We are pressing into the feet, but the feet are steady on the floor at the minute. We can firm the belly muscles, really let the shoulders and arms relax. So as they wrap the body, they tap the body. And then if you wish to, you can let your toes pivot a little. So we lift one heel and then the other. Just a gentle twist through the hips as well now. Adding a soft bounce in the knees if you'd like to, bounce and twist. Adding a little tap of the chest in front of the body and the rib cage behind the body, if that's where your arms like to end up. Very nice. So we're gently going to work our way back towards center, losing the bounce and bringing the feet to steadiness and swaying eventually back into stillness. As we come to stillness, arrange the body tall again. Let's take a couple of cleansing deep breaths. So breathing deeply in, taking the arms around the body and up, breathing out as we draw the palms together at the center of the chest. And one more like that, breathing in and breathing out. Relax the arms down to the side, wriggle anything that needs wriggling. Fantastic stuff. So we are going to take the equipment that I mentioned at the beginning of the class. Wonderful stuff. And we're going to do a little bit of work here with our equipment. So starting with standing on our softish block. So if you happen to be using a firm block or a book, that's not a problem at all. If you've got one of these blocks that's got a slight bit of give, your standing leg will work harder. So choose the option that suits you best. We're going to stand onto that leg that's closest to our support. You can use support on both sides if you'd like to. Thinking about centering the hip over the ankle so that we're not leaning towards the support, and we're keeping as light a touch as possible on the support so that we're also not leaning towards it or gripping too hard. As we stand tall, we're just going to swing our outside leg, the one that can move, just a little. So we're not looking for anything in particular in terms of shape to make. We're just looking for a sense of ease, maybe the weight of that leg providing a little traction on the hip. And then if you want to, pointing the toes forward, flexing the heel backward, trying to resist the movement with the upper body. That's where the work is, in the standing leg and in this resistance, this core strength we're developing. Feel free to use your other arm as a little bit of balance. Lovely stuff. And then gently bringing the legs back towards each other. We're going to bend at the knee and make some gentle circles with that knee. Again, trying to keep a light touch as much as you need. Let's circle the opposite way as well. Very good. And then step onto both feet. And as we step onto both feet, just be gentle, because that standing leg has done lots of work. So we come onto both feet, maybe giving the hips a little wiggle. And we'll take one of our chair-based down dogs. So we're going to take the hands onto the chair, walk the feet away, bending at the knees and then gliding the tailbone backwards to find that length. So we're not leaning onto the chair. We could take our hands off the chair quite easily. We're not leaning towards it with our feet behind our hips, but our feet are in fact under the hips or even slightly forward of the hips. Lift in the belly muscles and then just finding length down one side of the body and then the other by swaying the hips from side to side. Finding a bit of space underneath the arms here as well. It's okay if your head is lifted slightly higher than your shoulders. Try not to let your head dangle between your arms. So keeping it in line with the rest of the spine. When you're ready, coming up again by walking your feet in as you stand tall. Oh, that's great. Just taking note of how it feels in the body. And then we're going to do the other side. I'm going to use this wall for my other side, but feel free to turn around in your space or make any other adjustments that make it feel good. Just trying to find the right distance from the wall here. So here, our opposite standing leg, we're wanting to make sure the hip is over the ankle. Nice fingertip touch or light touch on our support. Standing tall, nice and firm across the belly. Lift, maybe soften across the shoulders, and just dangling this outside leg, giving it a little swing. And for some people, this might be enough. Maybe just stick with the swinging. And we're trying to find a little bit of space across the pelvis here. And if you wish to, you can point your toes forward and flex your heel backward. And as we do these more vigorous movements, we want to find a sense of inner strength that allows our torso to remain quite passive, quite upright. So we want to avoid penduluming. Very good. Only there is a version of this exercise where we would pendulum. That's absolutely fine. But today, that's not what we're doing. Let's do a couple more of these. And then we're going to bend that knee with the knees towards each other and then just make some small circles. Doesn't have to be much. We're only doing a few. Let's go the opposite way as well. Very nice. Maybe one more just for luck. And then stepping onto both feet. Taking the opportunity to just be slow about coming out of that pose so that we notice the effect, particularly on our legs, perhaps a little stir of the hips. It's much more demanding than it looks. Very nice. And then we can come back to our chair-based down dog, stretching the back of the body, gliding the hips backwards, softening the knees. So we're not looking for a big stretch down the backs of the legs, but we can sway the hips from side to side, or we can begin to lengthen one leg as we bend the opposite knee. We can even turn the head gently from side to side if that feels good in the body. Nice little lift of the belly muscles. And whenever you're ready, pressing into the hands, come up into an upright position. Hold on to your chair. If you feel dizzy coming back to upright, take a moment to wriggle everything and get it back to wherever it needs to be. So I'm just going to move this block out of the way and take hold of my, what's this called? Oh, that's the right one. Okay. So I can have my ball in my hands, or I can hold on to the chair with ball in hands as well. I'm going to keep my ball in my left hand and come back into that downward dog type of position. I don't need to be leaned all the way forward. I'm going to bring my feet towards each other, a little soft in the knees, and glide the hips backwards. And here I can rest my hands, making sure that ball is in the left hand. Wherever feels good on the chair for support. And then I'm going to take the weight onto the right foot and step the left foot back. Now you might like to keep your foot on the floor, firm in the belly muscles, and just draw your toes forward and your knee forward, and then press the toes backwards and the leg straighter behind you. So bending forwards and then pressing backwards. Maybe one more, bending forwards and pressing backwards. We can then take both feet onto the floor, give the hips a little bit of a wiggle. We're going to take this ball and put it behind the left knee and use the left leg to squeeze the ball towards the left thigh to keep it in place. And then we're going to lift the left knee behind us as we look slightly forwards and draw the left knee into the chest as we round slightly over the ball, over the knee, sorry. Looking forwards and up, rounding in and under. And it's okay to move your upper body as much as feels comfortable. We're going to do one more so that we've done 4, opening and closing. Remove the ball, step onto both feet, widen your feet for a little sway from side to side, and then when you're ready, walking forwards to an upright position. Again, one of these situations where it looks nothing, but it's a lot more effort than it looks. So do take your time with these practices. Helen, who's practicing live with me today, has done these many times and it's probably absolutely fine. But if it's your first time, feel free to pause the video at any stage. Let's do the same thing to the other side. We're keeping the ball in the right hand. We can rest the wrists or the hands over our support, walk the feet back, bring the feet towards each other and bend at the knees. A little firm in the belly muscles, and then we're taking the right foot and pointing the toes backwards, and then sliding the knee into the chest, but the feet stay on the floor. And then we lengthen the right leg back again and draw the knee towards the chest, sliding forwards. Let's do one more. Lovely job. Taking both feet onto the floor for a moment, just give a wiggle of anything that needs a wiggle, and then placing the ball behind the right thigh, squeezing that ball in towards you, and then lifting the right knee up and drawing the right knee in and under to round through the spine. Lifting back and up, maybe lifting your chest and chin at the same time, rounding under, maybe chest and chin rounding under as well. Let's do 2 more. Lifting and rounding, and 1 more. Lifting and rounding. We'll take the ball out, step onto both feet. Nice wide feet, give yourself a little wiggle. And if you need to come upright before now, that's okay. And then in your own time, walking all the way in. We can take our balls and just pop them down for a moment. Feels good. Roll in the shoulders, shruggle of anything that needs a shruggle, or wiggle of anything that needs a wiggle. Super. We're going to take our blocks back underneath the right foot, and we're going to step the left foot to the side. So we've got the feet lined up as they would be if we were standing on both feet, but we've got the block under the right foot. So we can use the chair and or a wall for support, or the second chair if you've got them. And we're going to try doing like a quarter squat here. So if I turn slightly sideways, it might be easier to see. So we've got our feet, one knee is slightly bent already. We can bring the hands together or using support, firm in the belly, and then we're just bending the knees enough to get a quarter squat. We're not looking for a deep squat. We're doing about a quarter of what we are able to do, and then press through the legs to stand tall. So a quarter squat and stand tall. Let's do 3 more of these if we can. Firm in the belly, nice and strong in the legs. The idea is not to do as much as you're able to, but to move freely in that area where we are at ease. Very nice. Same thing on the other side. So we can spend a moment with both feet on the floor just to ease out any tension or stiffness. And then again on the other side, holding on where we need to, doing it freestanding if you prefer, a little quarter squat, and then pressing to stand tall. Little quarter squat, pressing to stand tall, and doing 3 more. There's no need to go deep. You can stay nice and upright if you'd like to. Last one. Very good. Step onto both feet. Oh, give those legs a little shake out. Our final practice today is a horse stance or goddess squat. I'm going to give you the option of doing this sitting down, which you always have the option of doing it sitting down if you'd like to. Just placing this block to one side. So I'm going to show you with the chair, and then I will show you freestanding as well. So with the chair, we want to be sitting on the corner of the chair. So the corner is between the legs, and we can take our feet out to the side. And then we're going to do all the arm actions, but sitting on the chair. And if you're doing it freestanding, which is what I will do, then you're simply upright. You have your feet as wide apart as feels comfortable. You can bend your knees as much or as little as you'd like to. And then again, doing all of the actions with our arms as well. So whichever version you like, and remember, you can stop and change to sitting down or standing up halfway through if you'd like to. Whichever one you're doing, make sure that your toes are turned out. So when you bend your knees, and we're only bending a little, again, it's like a quarter of the way that we're able to bend when we come into the squat, that your knees are tracking your feet. Very good. So let's begin with the palms together at the center of the chest, either sitting or standing. Bend just a quarter of the way if you're standing, and then we're going to take the arms nice and wide. If at any stage you need to stand up with the legs straighter, you do that. We're going to reach into the fingertips and then turn the left palm upwards and the right palm all the way backwards, and then swap. Right palm upwards, left palm all the way backwards. We're going to go from side to side. We're going to try and hold this squat with firmness in the feet, the belly muscles, the pelvic floor, and a sense of lift in the body as we roll the shoulders backwards and forwards, opposite way, opposite sides. For those who feel that they would like to, you can do a little bit more movement across your chest and your neck by turning to look from side to side. And I recommend a bit of both, a bit of static, a bit of dynamic. Let's do one more to each side. And then we're going to relax the arms down, straighten the legs for those who are standing. Just take a moment to wriggle and release. We'll bring the palms together at the center of the chest, roll the shoulders back and down. If you're doing a quarter squat standing, otherwise holding your pose if you're seated. Here we're going to press the palms across the body as we turn to the right. Imagine the right elbow is trying to get behind the body, and then come back to center, and then press the palms across the body as we turn to the left. Imagine the left elbow is trying to get behind the body. And then we're just going from side to side. And we don't have to go as far as we can. We're trying to find that ease of movement, but we want to feel like something's happening in the back of the body. Try and keep your shoulders softened down, so we're not lifting the shoulders or doing something cranky in our upper backs. Let's do one more to each side. And when you come back to center, straightening the legs if you've been freestanding, relaxing your arms, giving yourself a little wiggle. Very good. Our last practice is to take the arms nice and wide and wrap the right arm over the left arm to hug the shoulders. Trying to get the hands as close behind the body as we can so that we've got the upper arms as crossed as possible. Then we're going to bend the knees, that quarter squat if you're doing a quarter squat, or sitting if you're sitting. Taking a few deeper breaths here. Try to find that space between the shoulder blades. Now you can stay here or bring the backs of the hands or palms of the hands towards each other if you'd like to. But here is just fine as well. Remember, we're trying to find those places of ease. We're going to breathe in as we lift the chest and the shoulders up, and breathe out as we gently round forward. We don't have to do much movement. If you're freestanding, make sure you feel balanced as you do this. So don't move if it doesn't feel balanced. Lovely. Let's do one more up and down. And then we're going to come to the center, lengthen the legs, reach the arms wide, float the arms down to the side, give a little wriggle through the shoulders. And our final practice is to do the same thing to the other side. So arms wide, this time left arm over right arm, trying to inch the hands towards each other behind you on the back. Bend the knees, that quarter squat. 3 deep breaths. Find that space between the shoulder blades. Remember, if you need to sit down at any time, please do. And then if you'd like to, you can raise the chest and round the upper back. Slightly raising and rounding. You can do this also with the backs of the hands or palms of the hands towards each other. If you'd like to, let's do one more. Coming back to center, straightening the legs, relaxing the arms down, wriggling through the shoulders. If you have been sitting down, you can just bring your feet towards each other. If you've been standing up, just turning the toes to face forward, maybe giving a little side-to-side action of the hips. And then gently either stepping or working your feet back towards each other, heel toe, heel toe. Very good. Excuse me. So we are moving towards relaxation now. Feel free to gather your warm things at this point. So if you would like to swap out your equipment for your blanket, I'm just going to take a little sip of juice as well, water, but sky juice. And then we can come to sitting on our seats, wrapped up in our blankets, and coming back towards the back of the seat. Because we've had the knees wide open, I would recommend having your legs a little closer together for relaxation. Maybe just taking a final moment to wriggle anything that feels like it needs wriggling. And gently draw your chin towards your chest. Closing your eyes, but smiling gently. Softening the effort across the shoulders, the upper back, the chest. And then raising your head to wherever feels comfortable, keeping the eyes gently closed. We're going to take a deep breath in and sigh out. And you can repeat that 3 more times. A deep breath in. Let all the effort of your practice go. A deep breath in. Let your muscles begin to relax. A final deep breath in. And surrender back and down into chair and floor. As your body softens, allow your breath to return to its natural, spontaneous rhythm, falling into quietness. Feel your forehead soften. Feel that space between the eyebrows separating, expanding. Feel the area around your eyes releasing. Your mouth, tongue, jaw, relaxing. Allow the whole of your body to feel heavy, soft, warm, comfortable, releasing back and down. Move your awareness to your breath. Just noticing the natural rhythm, softness, depth of your breath. Feeling the body release tension, soften a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back to your hands and your feet, moving your fingers, your toes, maybe rolling wrists and ankles. When you feel ready, you might like to take a deep breath in and stretch the body in a way that feels good, maybe yawning. To stretch the face, maybe stretching one side of the body and then the other. And then gently drawing one knee in towards you, just rounding forward over that knee. And then the other, just gentle, gentle rounding forward. When you're ready, you can bring your palms towards the center of the chest, either palms together, one on top of the other. We're going to draw the chin gently towards the chest. Today we have focused on basically the two girdles, the shoulder girdle with the neck and shoulders and chest, and the pelvic girdle with the legs, the bottom of the back, the interaction of the hips. And by working these two ends of the body, it allows us to find space and movement and ease and release tension in the spaces in between. I hope you feel that sense of ease, and I hope that it carries you through the week. Give yourself a gentle smile. When you're ready, raising your head, opening your eyes. Thank you so much for joining in this practice today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Namaste.